Good afternoon. My name is Kath McCann, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Beacon Foundation. Beacon Foundation wishes to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands that we meet upon around the world today. We pay our deepest respects to the traditional custodians and to their elders past and present. Beacon Foundation are an Australian not-for-profit organisation that has worked with schools and industry delivering career readiness programs and services across Australia for 35 years. We believe that all young people deserve the dignity and self-respect that comes from having meaningful employment. We don't think it is fair that all young people do not have that opportunity. Through our programs, we aim to address this. Beacon exists to create meaningful connections between students and industry volunteers through practical programs for secondary students. Beacon's work is delivered in schools with an ICSEA under 1,000. ICSEA provides an indication of the socio-educational background of the students. Throughout our history, Beacon has designed and delivered many short courses, standalone projects, customised services, and more recently, a 5-year place-based project. Despite these programs and services continuing to deliver great impact, we wanted to do more. At the beginning of 2022, we committed to designing and developing a new career readiness program that will combine all of our experience, global literature, and the clear need arising post-COVID to develop a new offering that would increase the career confidence of participating students. I would now like to share with you a video that captures the sentiment of the program and the design phase with some of the outstanding young people and industry volunteers that we worked alongside.
Right now in Australia we have massive skill shortages. Our country needs more young people to fill the supply of jobs. We cannot keep having our young people go through school, out the school gate to nothing. So it's critical right now that we do something about it. And Beacon, through 30 years of working in this space and looking at the global research, is designing what we think is incredibly exciting to see real shift.
There's a couple elements in this program that students will really benefit from. Firstly is the personal awareness element, that they're walking away with a greater sense of self and understanding of self, who they are. And secondly, there's the element of gaining experience, real world life experience. They have the skills that they've worked on beforehand to be able to go, okay, I can then navigate to somewhere else now because I'm making these decisions based on who I am and what I want to do in the world. That is something that they'll walk away with that will set them up for their entire career.
I would have loved to have had someone speaking into my life and to understand how other people had progressed through their careers, how they'd come into the workforce, the challenges that they'd faced, the opportunities that they'd been able to take strength from and find some progression through their own career.
So we did focus groups with industry representatives, with parents, with teachers, with students, where we asked them what they would want if they were to, in some way, participate or engage in this career readiness program, so that we could then take all of their feedback and incorporate it in the design elements of this program.
Just seeing them from the first session I attended to the last one today, the understanding of skills and what Beacon are trying to achieve. So they've obviously developed over that period of time. But yeah, watching them to develop just in that short time is impressive.
Some of the skills and strengths that I found out about myself that I probably never identified it before, which was like communication, respect, all those different sort of things.
It's been really great to help me develop skills that I knew I had and even new skills that I wasn't aware of, and really great to hear from lots of the mentors about pathways and journeys that they've taken and that you could follow in as well. I think it's actually taken me the other way. I was pretty sure of what I wanted to do before I started, but now that I've learned about different skills that I have, it's sort of made me think about other options as well, which is probably good.
The students can see that these just aren't your work people in the world, they're humans too. And that's how we're able to create an experience where they can foster relatedness to these industry representatives.
When we first started, we didn't know really what to expect. And like the other schools around Tassie and the mainland should get this opportunity to do this kind of stuff.
One of the great things about this program is the co-design nature of it. The fact that we've been working with young people, we've been working with industry, we've been working with parents and teachers is a critical part of this work. So we're listening to ensure we can get the best possible model to support young people.
As you just saw, at the heart of the new program is the creation of multiple meaningful engagements with industry volunteers, which lifts the awareness, aspiration, and motivation of students to embark on meaningful career exploration. We've been met with open arms from students, from educators, from industry and parents, all of these varied stakeholders wanting to see better career outcomes for our young people. We see this program being rolled out across Australia to assist young people to more actively engage in their own transition planning. And the pilot findings are suggesting that we are headed in the right direction. I'll now hand over to Nick to take you through the research and development that we've been through.
Thanks, Kath. My name is Nick Humphreys. I'm the Program Design and Evaluation Manager here at Beacon Foundation. As Kath mentioned, we've spent the last 12 months in design, development, trial, and now pilot of our new program. When we commenced the work, we set out with two clear goals. The first was to create a repeatable program design methodology that prioritised stakeholder consultation, student co-design, and student agency to ensure currency and relevance of theoretical evidence and our own practice wisdom. And secondly, to create a program structure and content that would achieve a meaningful increase in career confidence for participating students. The slide on the screen now represents the design methodology that we created and followed. We commenced with an internal review of our current and past programs. This was a really important starting point to ensure that we are consolidating and carrying forward the key elements we know that we're best placed to deliver and which achieve maximum impact. Next, we conducted an external literature review of the most current global papers on career readiness theory and practices. Together, our practiced wisdom and the most current global theory informed what the key elements were of a modern best practice career readiness program for high school students. So at this stage, we had a theoretical understanding of what our program might be comprised of, but we wanted to put these elements in front of key stakeholders, including industry, educator, parents, and most importantly, students themselves. We wanted to be sure that these theoretical elements resonated in Australian schools and workplaces so that our program would be theoretically robust while being practically impactful and relatable. We held focus group sessions with educators and industry stakeholders and surveyed parents so we could understand their unique perspective. Co-design with students themselves was a particular focus for us. We ran workshops where students voted for and discussed their preferred characteristics of core program elements. These elements included program duration and session frequency, preferred delivery and facilitation style, location of program delivery, and also program content. Not surprisingly, this process added colour to our theoretical model. It confirmed much of the evidence, but it also added a local youth perspective on how they wanted to engage with the program. At this point, we had amassed a rich body of theoretical evidence and co-design contribution from which to build our first complete version of the new career readiness program. Next, we were conscious of complementing career education curriculum at both a state and national level here in Australia. So we conducted an alignment between program content and key strategic elements within education to provide confidence to school leadership that our program would directly supplement their efforts. Finally, we were ready to trial our first 4 sessions of our 12-session program with two high schools here in Tasmania. This was an opportunity to check back in with the co-design process, and make sure that we were on track. Importantly, throughout the trial and we continued to capture feedback from participating students. This has been a discipline that we have stayed true to throughout the whole process. At the time of this conference, we have just finalised pilot delivery of the first 2 full programs here in Tasmania. These 2 programs are the first of 14 pilot programs that will deliver across about 10 schools through till mid-2024. Now I'd like to introduce Jake Snepvangers, Beacon's lead facilitator, to provide an overview of the program itself.
Now the target year level for our pilot is year 10, when students are 15 or 16 years of age. With term breaks, the duration of the program is 15 weeks, bridging across 2 school terms. The pilot program, that is a culmination of the design process Nick has just presented, is a 12-session career readiness program that is framed by 3 distinct phases. Firstly, awareness, where students cultivate a deeper awareness of their personal attributes. Secondly, exploration, where students explore various career possibilities that are aligned to their personal attributes. And lastly, experience, where students gain some hands-on experience in the world of work. Now, importantly, throughout the program, the development of alignment between personal attributes and career exploration is key. To support this, the key principles of self-determination theory, autonomy, relatedness, and competence are adopted as the guiding principles for the program delivery. To begin the journey, our intention throughout the first awareness phase is to support the students through the identification of their interests, personality traits, and skills. By undertaking personal assessments, engaging in attribute diversity games, and listening to the career stories shared by industry volunteers and their peers, students develop a deeper understanding of how their personal attributes have value in their career journey. Additionally, self-led coordination of aligned work experiences is a major component of the program, which occurs later in the experience phase. With preparatory work and support from our facilitators and the school coordinators, students are expected to identify and make contact with their desired placement locations themselves. To adequately prepare students for this, preparatory work begins in these early stages of the program and then continues over the consecutive phases. All of this awareness building groundwork prepares the students for the second phase, which is exploration. Here, the students engage in desktop exploration, where they explore career possibilities that are aligned to their personal assessment results. They experience a multi-site tour excursion, where they visit job sites, where they meet and speak with staff and see what these places of work are really like. Lastly, they continue to engage in activities that prepare them for the arrangement and experience of their workplaces. Our final phase is experience. Here, students have the opportunity to go out on the work experience placements they coordinated themselves. This may range from a couple of days to a week or 2, depending on the capacity of the student and the workplace. Additionally, there is an alternative work experience session available for those students who do not manage to successfully secure a work placement. Our program graduation ceremony is the final program hurdle and is an opportunity for students to share their self-proclamations that comprise of all their previous workings from the program. It articulates what their next steps in their career journey might look like and what some of their biggest learnings from the program were. This is an important occasion for the community of industry volunteers, educators, work experience hosts, and parents to all come together to celebrate these young people for whom the program may well have been a significant challenge. This opportunity for recognition from a caring community draws on the age-old rites of passage principles of celebrating the return of those who have journeyed through a challenging experience. Finally, the program closes with a session that hands the students back to the educator and frames out everything that they've learned throughout the program and how it can inform more sophisticated conversations with parents and educators, particularly around transition planning from education to employment. Some additional features of the program are that throughout the program, students will have documented their journey through the completion of activities and tools within their program workbook. It's a resource they can take away with them after the completion of the program. Additionally, to support the deeper integration of each of their content learning sessions, they are separated by a check-in session, which allows for students to reflect and comprehend more deeply and discuss key learnings from previous sessions. Lastly, the entire program is coordinated and delivered by an expert Beacon facilitator who works with the students, industry volunteers, and educators throughout the duration of the program. Whilst a couple of the guiding developmental career readiness theories have been mentioned here, it is important to recognise the extensive work done by many other researchers and practitioners across the globe who have all informed our thinking. Structurally, amongst other works, Dave Turner's WE3 Continuum strengthened our concept of how the program will best be framed. A number of meta-analysis studies conducted and published by the Career Readiness team at the OECD provided a richness and depth to our theoretical research, and we are really grateful for having had the opportunity to seek guidance directly from both Dave Turner and Anthony Mann in the very early stages.
Thanks, Jake. As you've now heard, evaluation throughout our early trials and the first two pilot programs has been a key focus to ensure the feedback loop informing program updates is as short as possible. Evaluation has been designed to monitor both feedback on program elements and overall student impact. The program feedback has been gathered from all participating stakeholders and helps us understand which elements are most valuable and those that may not be hitting the mark. Impact evaluation, by contrast, is being measured via pre- and post-program surveys. This allows us to measure the impact on increased career confidence after the participation of the complete experience. Students complete these pre and post surveys as the ultimate beneficiaries, and the educator completes them based on their observation of increased career confidence across the group. Some key learnings that we've identified throughout the pilot program through both observational and also formal evaluation are: students self-nominating to participate seems to be supporting more sustained engagement and active contribution throughout the program. The educators took a different approach in the support of this selection process. One, requesting the students to submit an expression of interest to participate, while the other selected students who might be best placed to participate in the program. Time spent during the awareness phase of the program in identification of personal traits, skills and interests and how they align to the world of work is definitely showing strong support for students developing a vision of their post-education self, which is really great to see. Industry engagement is, as expected, proving a favourite amongst students. This supports Beacon's theory of change and fundamental ingredient in all of our programs, which is industry engagement in our program delivery. The project of work experience coordination that the students work throughout the program is a key part of the students' experience. We have found that introducing this project element earlier in the program is making the content more practical and more relatable for them. Particular challenges, some of which are inherent in this type of work that we have come across, are developing a program that is structured and consistent so that we can operationalize and replicate and evaluate with reliability, while accommodating the flexibility required to support each school's scheduling format, timetabling, for example, has certainly been a challenge. Within the first two pilot programs, we've needed to expand or contract session content in response to different timetabling or period duration, as well as accommodate other occurrences like recess or lunch breaks throughout the day. The key challenge for us is to protect the continuity of students' experience from one program to the next, while understanding that some will have more or less time within each session. Further, the challenge in any group delivery environment is how to meet each participant where they are on day one, while delivering group content and achieve individual impact throughout the program. Finally, knowing that we seek to make a positive impact on the career confidence of a young person, when there are so many socioeconomic factors outside of the school environment that may undermine our best efforts is really challenging. Here, we're exploring collaboration across the community of support services to address this issue.
I trust that you have found the overview from Nick and Jake of great interest and value. Beacon Foundation is genuinely enthusiastic about the next stage of rollout of the new program. We're not proposing that we've got it all right, but we are an organisation that has a track record of taking feedback on board and continuously improving to maximise impact for the participating students. I would like to thank and acknowledge our partners that have assisted Beacon in undertaking the design and development, as well as the pilot rollout of the program in Tasmania, specifically Paul Ramsay Foundation and the Tasmanian Government. In closing, I'd like to thank you all for attending today and encourage you all to stay committed to improving pathway outcomes for our young people, and particularly those from less advantaged backgrounds. The situation in Australia and globally presents many barriers for our young people to transition to meaningful education, employment, or training. We believe, as I'm sure you all do, that this is simply not fair. With our combined commitment to developing system-wide solutions and advocating for change, I am confident we can make a difference. We need to, as our young people deserve it. Thank you.